And like, and that's what people get. That's what people get it messed up. We're talking about the ability to throw not only with power, but power and accuracy, power and anticipation. You know what I'm saying? And there's only a handful of quarterbacks in the league that have that ability. Aaron Rodgers is one. Um, John Elway definitely isn't one because before he got to the Denver Broncos, like he was considered a bust. Um, you got Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, who can throw almost any and everything. Um, Warren Moon, a lot of people don't know Warren Moon. Warren Moon could throw any and everything. Like this dude had a cannon; he can throw with anticipation. Um,
Brett
and
Favre.
Dan Marino, Joe Montana, like these guys could throw every route. Hmm. And don't tell me that
Yeah.
Tom Brady can throw every route because we've seen what he's done. Even in his prime, he couldn't make certain throws. That's the reason why he was around like a sixth round, seventh round pick. You know what I'm saying? Because he lacked the arm talent. Talking about arm talent, Tom Brady is one of the most accurate quarterbacks of all time. But when it comes down to throwing every route, he couldn't throw certain sideline. Like only certain quarterbacks can throw the ball on the run and accurately, like Matt Ryan did. Like Matt Ryan threw a frozen rope, and you see it all the time. This dude throws a running like he's running to the right, he's running to the left, and he'll just throw a dagger, to either Julio, or I know you guys remember that throw not only to Roddy White but Michael Jenkins where they caught the ball on the sideline. Like ain't too many quarterbacks can throw that make that throw and it's accurate. Like that right there is arm talent. So what are you guys like? Who are you guys top three? I know I should say it's top five, but give me your top three, man, as far as your quarterback is concerned.
Before I give you my top three, Mike, I kind of wanted to just hit on what I feel about arm talent, and I completely agree with you, Mike. Like I was gonna say, Brett Favre. I feel like he had one of those arms where he could hit every throw. He could throw the ball hard. He knew when to put touch on it, and I think that's where a lot of guys get it twisted. Like I'm a big fan of Michael Vick, but the problem with Vick is everything was a bullet. If you watch
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson play, he plays the same way. It's like take a little bit of mustard off that football. Like Lamar Jackson, if he throws everything like a bullet, he could be like out to the running back in the flats and he'll throw a bullet. It's like everything don't have to be 100-mile-an-hour speed. You're not a pitcher, you're a quarterback. Sometimes if you're trying to throw it out to the fullback, you know that his hands is not the same as like a wide receiver. So just loft it out there to him. Like you ain't gotta, bomb it. Like you don't have to throw a bullet every single time. And I think that's what Matt Ryan understands. Like when he's on the ball, when he threw that ball when he was rolling out, and Zacchaeus broke off his route and ran up the field, he threw a ball against his body, but he
Mm-hmm.
knows when to put some touch on it. You know what I'm saying? When to throw it with some mustard. And I think that's the biggest issue with some of these quarterbacks, like a Jay Cutler. He was another one. Cam Newton, like you were talking about. They
If
don't
I see,
understand.
I'm my bad. If I see
Go
somebody
ahead.
say Russell Wilson one more time, I swear I'm a ban y'all from this fucking channel. If y'all say Russell Wilson one more time, like this dude doesn't have arm talent. Okay, he's mobile. He's able to make certain throws. He got 8 interceptions on the season. Okay, eight. So think about it. My bad, Jude. But
Now,
I'm tired of saying Russell.
you good, man. But that's basically what I'm saying. Like you gotta have guys that knows how to put, like I said, put touch on the ball, but also can throw the deep ball, can make all the throws throwing out to the sideline, like I talked about. Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, you named all the greats, even Jim Kelly. A lot of people don't remember Jim Kelly with the Buffalo Bills. To play up in Buffalo
Ooh,
and to
yeah.
throw that ball in the wintertime, like you got to be able sometimes to put some mustard on that ball because it snows a lot in Buffalo, New York. It gets cold around playoff time. Those guys made 4 straight Super Bowls, and he had to be able to put that ball on a dime. And they were not running the ball like they were a throwing team. They could run the ball with Thurman Thomas, but Andre Reed put up big numbers in that offense. Chad Beebe and those guys they had up there with that offense with Buffalo. He's a guy that goes overlooked a lot, Jim Kelly, because he never won a Super Bowl, but he played in 4 straight Super Bowls, and there's no quarterback that can say that. Even Tom Brady, it ain't no quarterback that's played in 4 straight Super Bowls. So I feel like it's a ton of guys out there that had that arm talent. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, he can throw the ball on a rope. He can be. It don't care what platform. He can be coming off his back foot. He can hit somebody in the corner of the end zone, and that's what I talk about when we're talking about arm talent. Dan Marino, he's another guy that I don't think we named. He's another guy that's definitely in my top 3 where he can make every throw. He could put the ball on the dime with accuracy, and he could put mustard on the ball. But he know when to throw it with some loft. He know when to put that, throw it and try to throw it through a keyhole, as I say. Try to zing it through there with mustard. So it's a lot of guys, man, that have that arm talent. But those are just a few. But my top 3, I would say Brett Favre has to be in my top 3 because he was just a gunslinger. He was one of those guys that it don't matter. He playing in Green Bay, Wisconsin, just like Buffalo, New York, where it snows a lot and stuff like that. It's cold all the time. You playing against the Bears outdoors. You twice a year. You playing in Green Bay. You playing in Minnesota. Like up there where it snows a lot and stuff like that, you gotta have a special arm talent. Aaron Rodgers, he's another guy I gotta put up in my top 3 because he can make every throw. He can run on the run. He can do it within the pocket. Him and Brett Favre is another guy that I think they sleep on as far as being mobile. Because to me, him and Aaron Rodgers pretty much were the same player. So Green Bay was just blessed, and they know how to, view talent and know how to scout talent. Because for them to go from Brett Favre right over to Aaron Rodgers, who was his backup, they're pretty much the same player. Like it's pretty much nothing that Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, both of those guys could pretty much do it all. My third guy, man, it'll be tough because I love Warren Moon, especially being like an African American quarterback that I feel like don't get a lot of credit because he never won a Super Bowl.
He does.
But he was one of those guys that put up big numbers as well. Playing up there, playing down there in Houston with the Houston Oilers, he was one of those guys that had
run and shoot offense. That run and shoot offense.
Yeah, but I think I'll go with John Elway because to me, John Elway, his arm, man, was something different, man. When I turn on his highlights now, I'd be like, man, John Elway had a rocket. Like we talk about Pat Mahomes, but he was like Pat Mahomes before Pat Mahomes, and he was another guy that kind of puts me in the mind of Matt Ryan when it comes to like he didn't win early in his career. He played in a couple Super Bowls and he got beat in a bunch of Super Bowls early on, but then later on in his career, he was able to win Super Bowls, like you were talking about, Mike, where he really wasn't the focal point of the offense no more. It was Terrell Davis pretty much carrying the team, him and Shannon Sharp. But he still had that rocket arm. He couldn't. He wasn't as mobile as he once was because Don Elway was another guy that could also run. People don't realize they look at him being white. He was one of them guys too that he was kind of like an Aaron Rodgers. He could do that, run out the pocket.
Oh my God. We got to start with this. Like, that's not arm talent, people. You got to stop. Brandon Levy, please stop with this. They got cannon. Just because you have a cannon doesn't mean you got arm talent. What do you not understand about arm talent? It's accuracy with that cannon, okay? And John Elway developed that. Again, he developed that late in his career, okay?
Yeah, man.
When he got that. Just look at the first 3 years of Russell Wilson's career. He was not a well-developed quarterback. Over time, he got there. But some of these guys, from the very moment they stepped on the field, just look at Matt Ryan, his first pass. Just look at that throw. It was a rocket. It was accurate, and it was on the money, right in stride, perfect stride. That's what we're talking about. So it's not just, oh, he had a cannon. This guy had a cannon. Everybody can throw the ball hard in the NFL. Every quarterback can throw the ball, with power, but power and accuracy, that goes hand in hand. And this is why I say Aaron Rodgers, for me, Brett Favre, and Dan Marino, those are my 3 when it comes down to arm talent. And like I said, my favorite quarterback of all time is Peyton Manning. But when you look at those 3 quarterbacks, they could throw the ball since the first moment they stepped on the field. All right. they could make throws no other quarterback can make. And we're talking about with strength. Again, we got a lot of quarterbacks who not only have a cannon, Michael Vick. Michael Vick can throw the ball. I thought he had one of the most strongest arms in the NFL. Like, this dude would flick his wrist and that shit would go 70 yards. You know what I'm saying? But as far as an arm talent, he wasn't an arm talent. He just had a strong arm. And that's what people get things mixed up when we say, oh, he got a cannon. That's not arm talent.
Okay. That's cool.
What you think, K Styles?
Well, before I go with my top 3 of arm talent, I'll give you my top 3 who had absolute trash arm talent. I'll give you that. And this is no particular order. This is just 3 guys that I saw that was absolute garbage. Mark Sanchez, Rex Grossman, and motherfucking Jake Fromm. What the fuck?
Oh, don't even talk about Jake Fromm. That dude throws so many balls in the dirt. Oh my God. Straight to the ground. Nothing like hard as hell, straight to the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've seen it perfectly.
Yeah. But like I said, but if you talk about my top 3 arm talent, I'm not gonna go off of what history has said. I'm gonna go off of what I've seen. And I'm going to also throw names in there that nobody really talk about. Like I said, Brandon Levy said one name that I did like, and that was Donovan McNabb. I liked his arm talent. I give him that one. Another one nobody talks about, his arm wasn't the strongest, but he could get it there on time, and that was Chad Pennington.
Yeah.
Chad Pennington could get it done when you needed to. And another one, damn, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I know everybody saying Matt Ryan is not in there, but there was one throw Matt Ryan did make in his career. The one throw Matt Ryan made in his career that said that he had arm talent. I don't know if y'all remember it. It was against the Chicago Bears. And he threw that ball from the end zone on the sideline with less than 10 seconds and got him in the field.
Oh, yeah. That's the one that I'm talking about, the Michael Jenkins. He threw that on the sideline to Michael Jenkins.
That right there, that's our talent. But another quarterback that I would definitely put up there that I had seen, and that's a tough one because I can't really – like, I'm trying not to use the obvious names. I'm trying to think outside the box here because everybody's pretty much done said all the quarterbacks that got like the top arm talents and stuff. I'll probably put Carson Palmer in there. I'll put Carson Palmer in there.
He can swing it.
He can hit all night.
He definitely can swing it.
Carson Palmer's problem was he got injured his first playoff game and it took a while for him to recover.